We need to talk about Brock Purdy's Achilles heel, fatal flaw, kryptonite, his kryptonite. Let's call it his kryptonite. He's a little Superman out there. There's nothing he can't do until there's a little bit of precipitation and then it all comes crumbling down. Is that the pattern that we're seeing? I mean, it doesn't even have to be a torrential downpour. It just has to sprinkle. A light drizzle takes him out of his game. Is that where we're at? And is that a concern for someone we're looking at as the next franchise quarterback for the 49ers, someone who will be here for 10 to 15 years?
It should be a concern. Yeah, it's not a concern this year because it doesn't look like it's going to rain Sunday and Vegas is in a dome. So it really doesn't matter moving forward this year, this time. But it definitely is his Achilles heel. I think even his biggest supporters will tell you he can't handle throwing in the rain. He's extremely inaccurate. That's the most inaccurate I've seen him. He was same way against the Browns. So there's a pattern of inaccuracy for Brock Purdy in the rain. And I'm hopeful that it's something that can be improved upon with practice. But again, Kyle doesn't practice that. So Brock, you got to go out and practice that on your own. And maybe you can see some improvement there. Maybe it's just a small hands thing, but there's guys like Patrick Mahomes, same size hands as Brock, who's able to deal with it. So I don't know why. I don't get it, but it is a pattern for sure.
Yeah, it's troubling that he tried to use a glove and it didn't make it better and he had to go away from it. If this is the deal with him, then he probably should be playing for a team that's in a dome. But even then, to win a Super Bowl, you're probably going to have to at some point play a game in some bad weather in the playoffs. Kind of scary that he can't operate under those conditions. Like, again, they could get the 6th Lombardi trophy this year and it may never be another issue. It was almost a really big issue against the 7th seed. It almost was going to be one of the main reasons they didn't win. Kind of scary. I wouldn't give $60 million to a guy who can't throw in the rain. I think throwing in the rain is a prerequisite. So he's going to have to figure this one out in the next year before he gets that mega deal because it rains in Northern California. It does. It really
rains
does.
All over. Rains everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And whether you're at home in a place that doesn't rain or have a dome, you got to go on the road and you got to be able to throw in the rain. It is a big deal. He's got to fix it. Maybe it's something that can be improved upon with practice, but again, he's got to practice. But the concern, I guess, is that it can't be improved upon no matter what. Maybe that's just who he is and always will be regardless. So that is a concern that you should have for Brock Purdy. And that may be one of the things that prevents him from ever being that top 5, top 7 type quarterback or even a franchise quarterback. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but it is a concern. I mean, what happens if, luckily we're playing at home. But what if Detroit's a dome, so it'd be fine. But there's a lot of scenarios where you could see him playing on what if we play Seattle in a downpour at some point? It's absolutely a concern. So
if you play in Northern California and you don't have a dome, your quarterback probably should be able to play in the rain when it happens. And I don't know, maybe it's Kyle's fault for not preparing him, but if he can't do it, I don't know. They can win a Super Bowl with him, but they may need to. I don't know,
Put a
man.
roof on this. Put a roof on the freaking Levi Stadium.
Brock's roof.
Yeah, Brock's roof. We'll name it Brock's roof.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they got to do. maybe just make Levi's a dome. All right, let's take some super chats. It's been like 40 minutes and I've taken none. City Burt, did Greenlaw have the -9? What was he doing?
The -9? What are we talking about?
The spread. So people are still mad at Greenlaw. Just say thank you. All right, never mind.
He got excited. Wanted to score.
Zach Rivero says if they play like Green Bay, I don't even want to go to the Super Bowl.
If they play like they did against Green Bay, they're not going to win, so they won't go to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
because it's Nick for real says only a genius would call 30+ passes in the rain. He let the Packers counter. He let the Packers dictate. Excuse me. Adrian Garcia says just want to clarify to lots of pretty haters. Can I just say something before I finish reading this comment?
Yeah.
Are there Purdy haters? Do those people exist?
I'm supposed to be one, according to a lot of people.
I'm supposed to be one. I'm not a Purdy hater. I know him personally. I both like him personally and as a quarterback. I think he's a very good guy and a very good quarterback. Who is the Purdy hater people talk about? Does he have doubters? I haven't heard. Everyone agrees that he's a good quarterback to very good.
Yeah.
Somewhere between top 15, top 10. I would say he's a top 10 quarterback. Does that make me a hater?
If you don't, apparently to some people, if you don't say he's Joe Montana, you are a Purdy hater. And I'm not going to go there.
That's ridiculous.
I need some Super Bowls before I go to that level.
Like Purdy, there were Purdy haters maybe, or there's never been a Purdy hater. He hasn't gotten paid. He's a nice guy. There are no Purdy haters. There are Purdy doubters, or there were. I think at this point, he's pretty much gotten all of his doubters to say, yeah, he's a really good quarterback. He definitely should be starting for this team. The Niners picked the right guy. Still has a lot more to prove, especially in the rain. But Purdy haters. Okay, just want to clarify to lots of Purdy haters that he's only second year. He came in clutch, which Jimmy never did. All the haters are eliminated fan bases with a first round quarterback choker or even worse stack.
He did do that yesterday.
Andrew, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it, man. But I feel like you're arguing against people who don't exist anymore.
He was clutch yesterday, and I would love. Hopefully, that's who Brock Purdy is, because we got to see it yesterday. He's had a few opportunities like that. That was the first one he really capitalized on.
True, didn't he? Okay, so Jimmy never did. I remember Jimmy doing it against Green Bay at Levi's. Remember, it was week 3, 2021.
Right.
He led him all the way down the field, hit use check for the touchdown, and people kind of got on use check for scoring a little too fast, and then Aaron Rodgers led a field goal drive in like 15 seconds or something crazy. But Jimmy did it, and at the time, a lot of people said, Jimmy couldn't do that.
Yeah, you have to. It's about what you do over the long career. Like over your career, it's about what you do, not one game, not 2 games.
People forget the Jimmy Garoppolo era. They do. Because what Brock did in that game was Jimmy-esque, and people can't remember what a Jimmy-esque performance was. It was like that.
Jimmy had his moments.
He did.
Yeah.
Brock's a lot better than Jimmy. Kenny 757 says, flew back from Puerto Rico with big smile after our win. On another note, Chase doesn't chase as much as he should, huh? Get the lead out of your tuchus.
That is ironic. His name is Chase, and he sometimes refuses to chase.
Matthew Sanders says, have to get home against Goff. Yep. Can't let him stand there. He will dice you up. Ivan Tina says, concerning injury update, Ambry will be 100% healthy. Oh, that's mean. That's mean.
Evo.
City Bert, Purdy's kryptonite is rain. He had no zip. He had no accuracy.
Yeah.
Or zip. By Victor 1 says, is Logan Ryan too slow to take over Ambry Thomas's spot? Yes.
Yes.
He's a safety at this point.
Yeah.
Official, not a good one. Official BNA Music 88. Sorry. Defensive line got to play better. Love had PNC level confidence most of that game. That D line cost way too much to be game managers.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Nick Bosa after the game how he would assess his own performance. He was like, mine? I was like, yeah, you.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gave it everything I had. And I'm like, that's concerning.